Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood up from your chair and felt like your legs weren't there? Like your body belonged to someone older, someone weaker, someone you swore you'd never become? Now, here's what no one tells you. That moment when your knees shake or you need two hands to push off the sofa might not be just aging. It could be the first silent signal that your brain is shrinking, that sarcopenia, the loss of muscle, is already attacking you from the inside. And get this, it doesn't just rob you of strength. According to a recent feature from the Times UK, backed by data from researchers in Australia and England, losing muscle is directly linked to losing memory. That's right. The less you lift, the faster your brain shifts. They call it dual decline, muscles and mind, falling hand in hand. And no, it's not solved by a multivitamin, not by walking laps around the kitchen, not by hoping it'll just stop. If you're over 60, you need to fight back. And there's one simple habit that could protect your brain better than any crossword puzzle ever could. So let me ask you this. Have you felt your legs getting weaker? Have you found yourself searching for words more than you used to? If yes, comment 1 below. If no, comment 0. I want to know who I'm talking to. You're not alone. And today, we're going to turn it around. Together. Hit subscribe so you and I stay connected. We've got work to do. Let's begin. Number 1, the silent mistake why walking isn't enough. Now let me tell you something that might surprise you. And I say this as a doctor who's treated over 10,000 patients across 5 decades. Walking every day is good. It helps your heart, it clears your mind, and it gets you moving. But for muscle loss, for brain protection, walking alone is not enough. See, I had a patient named Harold, 72 years old, retired firefighter. He walked 3 miles every morning. Rain, shine, snow, didn't matter. But last year, Harold came into my office and said, "Doc, I've been walking every day. Why do my legs still feel weak? Why can't I remember where I put my keys anymore?" And I looked him in the eye and told him the truth, because walking isn't resistance. Harvard Medical School published an article in Harvard Health Publishing stating that resistance training, like lifting weights, triggers the production of a brain-boosting chemical called BDNF, short for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. And guess what? Walking doesn't increase it the same way. A clinical trial from the University of Sydney, published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, found that older adults who lifted weights twice a week had stronger memories and thicker brain regions compared to those who only did cardio. Yes, lifting light weights, as little as 5 to 10 pounds, can actually help your brain stay younger longer. Still think walking is enough. Let me be clear. I'm not saying stop walking. You need to walk, but you also need to challenge your muscles. You need resistance, something that says, "Hey, muscle, wake up. We've got work to do." And here's the kicker. This isn't just about legs, it's about independence. It's about whether you'll be able to open a jar, climb the stairs, or live in your home without a walker. Have you felt like walking just doesn't feel the same anymore? Have you done all the right things but still feel like your body's letting go? Drop a comment below with walker if that sounds familiar. You're not alone. Now here's the good news. Even if you've never lifted a weight in your life, it's not too late. Even light resistance, like using water bottles or resistance bands, can reawaken muscle fibers that have been asleep for years. That's the power of what we call neuromuscular reactivation. And once it starts, it's like flipping the lights back on in a house that's been dark. So here's your micro action for today. Find something around you that weighs at least 5 pounds. Maybe it's a bag of flour. Maybe it's a gallon of milk. Pick it up 10 times with each arm, slowly, carefully. That's where it starts. And in the next part, I'll show you exactly what happens inside your brain and your blood when you begin. Trust me, it's going to blow your mind. Number 2, brain chemistry. What happens when you lift a weight? Let's go deeper now. You see, when I first tell my older patients to lift weights, they often look at me like I've lost my mind. Doc, I'm 70. I can barely carry my groceries, but here's the truth. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about becoming brain strong, because lifting even 5 pounds can change what's happening in your brain right now. And I'm not saying that as a theory. I'm saying it based on hard science. Let me break it down for you. When you lift something, a dumbbell, a gallon of milk, even a soup can, your muscles don't just contract. They talk to your brain. They send a signal, and your brain responds by releasing a chemical called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. What does BDNF do according to Harvard Medical School? BDNF helps your brain grow new neurons, repair old ones, and build stronger connections between cells. It's like miracle grow for your brain. Now here's the shocking part. BDNF levels naturally decline with age, but resistance training, not walking, not stretching, not yoga, weight-based exercise is the most effective way to bring BDNF back up. In 2020, the Mayo Clinic published findings that older adults who practiced progressive resistance training twice per week for 6 months showed significant increases in both BDNF levels and memory test scores. Think about that. 2 short sessions a week, lifting weights the size of a bag of oranges, and your brain starts firing like it did 20 years ago. One patient of mine, Dennis, 67-year-old former accountant, had early-stage cognitive decline. He couldn't finish a sentence without forgetting what he was saying. We started him on a resistance program. Nothing crazy, just bands and 5-pound weights. Twice a week. That's it. After 3 months, his wife told me he remembered their wedding anniversary for the first time in 5 years. Coincidence? I don't think so. And it's not just about BDNF. Weight training boosts dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals that fight depression, anxiety, and foggy thinking. WebMD recently noted that strength training improves blood flow to the hippocampus, the part of your brain that stores and retrieves memories. This means lifting weights isn't just about strength, it's about mental clarity, emotional stability, focus, and all of that, from lifting something that weighs less than your purse. Let me ask you, have you noticed more mental fog lately? Struggling with names, losing your train of thought, mid-sentence. These aren't just senior moments. They're red flags, signals that your brain is starving for movement. Comment the word fog if this sounds like you. Let me know. You're not alone. So what can you do starting today? Try this. Hold something in each hand that weighs 5 to 10 pounds. Lift it to your chest. Lower it slowly. Do this 10 times. You're not just building muscle. You're feeding your brain. You're sending the message, I'm not done yet. And trust me, your brain hears you loud and clear. Number 3, muscles and memory. One weakens, the other follows. Let me ask you a question. Why do so many older adults suddenly start forgetting where they put their keys? Right around the same time they start struggling to climb stairs. It's not a coincidence. And it's not just aging. There is a biological chain reaction happening inside the body. And if you don't interrupt it, it will take away both your strength and your mind. Here's the truth. Muscle loss doesn't just affect your arms and legs. It changes your hormones. It weakens your blood circulation. It reduces your metabolic rate. And most importantly, it reduces blood and oxygen delivery to the brain. Let's break this down step by step. First, when you lose muscle mass, you enter a state called catabolism. This means your body is breaking down tissue faster than it's building it back up. In people over 60, this process accelerates. If you're not actively using your muscles, your body assumes you don't need them anymore. And so, it starts recycling them for fuel. Now here's the kicker. When your muscles shrink, your blood vessels shrink too. Smaller muscles mean less demand for circulation. Less circulation means less oxygen to the brain. And without oxygen, brain cells begin to deteriorate. This is why memory loss often follows muscle loss. It's not random, it's biological. The National Institute on Aging has confirmed that older adults with lower muscle mass are more likely to develop mild cognitive impairment. That means weaker muscles, slower thinking, and higher risk for dementia, all in one package. Now, let's look at the second layer. Your muscles produce important chemical messengers. These are called myokines, tiny proteins released when your muscles contract. Myokines travel to the brain and signal it to grow, repair, and stabilize itself. They promote neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new connections. But when you stop moving, when do your muscles stop firing? The supply of these powerful chemicals drops dramatically. Without those messengers, your brain doesn't get the signal to maintain itself. It slows down, and the effects show up in your memory, your attention, your mood. You see, this isn't just about forgetting things. This is about losing control, losing independence, losing the very identity that makes you you. And here's the part that truly shocks people. This entire decline can start from as little as 1/2 pound of muscle loss per year. That's it, just 8 ounces. According to the CDC, adults over 60 can lose up to 15% of their muscle mass per decade if they don't perform resistance training. Now imagine losing that without even realizing it. That's like taking one book off a bookshelf each year. At first, you don't notice, but 10 years later, the shelf is almost empty. The result, fatigue, mental fog, lack of motivation, and eventually, reliance on medications, walkers, or even full-time care. So let's be honest. If you feel your legs weakening, if your memory feels duller than it used to be, if you're sleeping more but waking up more tired, that's not aging. That's decline. And decline is a choice when you know what to do. Because here's the third layer of truth: the body responds quickly to resistance. It doesn't matter if you're 61 or 91. The moment you begin activating your muscles with purpose, your body releases growth hormones, your blood flow improves, and yes, your brain begins to wake up again. You don't need to lift 50-pound dumbbells. You need consistency, a plan, a habit of pushing against something just a few times a week. And you need to keep going, even when you don't feel like it, because the brain thrives on challenges. It grows when the body grows. So ask yourself, have you allowed your body to fall asleep? Have you given your muscles permission to disappear? Or will you say, starting today, no more? If you've ever felt like your memory's slipping, but deep down, you're still sharp. If your body has slowed down, but your willpower hasn't, then this next step is for you. Comment the word awake below. Let me know if you're ready to reawaken your muscles and your mind. Because in part 4, we're not just talking about science, we're laying out the action plan. The exact strategy that can help you rebuild strength, sharpen memory, and feel like yourself again. You've come this far. Don't stop now. Number 4, the 3x3 plan: rebuild your muscle, restore your mind. You've made it this far. And that tells me one thing: you're not the kind of person who gives up. So now, I want to give you the 3x3 plan, the exact strategy I've used to help thousands of older adults rebuild their strength, sharpen their memory, and regain independence. This isn't a magic pill. This isn't a gym membership. It's a plan you can do from home, with a chair, a water bottle, and your willpower. 3 actions, 3 times a week. That's it. Let's break it down. Step 1, activate your muscles. 10 minutes of resistance, 3 times a week. Perform any form of gentle resistance training. It can be lifting a 5-pound bag of rice 10 times with each hand. Sitting and standing from a chair slowly 10 times. Using a resistance band to pull outward, 10 repetitions. Why 10 reps? Because science shows that even 10 slow repetitions trigger the production of BDNF, the brain's healing chemical. According to the University of British Columbia, this boost in BDNF can last up to 48 hours. That means just 3 sessions a week keeps your brain in growth mode all week long. Don't overthink it. Just move and breathe while you do it. Step 2, Nourish the muscle-brain connection. Every morning, give your body the fuel it needs to rebuild. Here's your simple breakfast rule. Eat 20 grams of high-quality protein within 90 minutes of waking up. That could be 2 scrambled eggs and a slice of turkey. 1 scoop of whey protein and unsweetened almond milk. Cottage cheese with a spoon of peanut butter. According to Tufts University, protein in the morning helps older adults increase muscle protein synthesis by 30% more than eating the same protein at dinner. Add to that a glass of water with a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon. It helps hydrate your brain and stabilize your blood pressure after sleep. This is not a diet. This is brain medicine. Step 3, reset the brain before sleep. The last step is the most ignored and possibly the most powerful. Every night, before bed, spend 5 minutes in full-body stillness. That could be sitting in silence with your hands on your thighs. Gentle diaphragmatic breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Or lying down and tightening each muscle group for 5 seconds, then releasing. Why this matters? Because this activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and repair system. It tells your brain, we're safe, now grow. According to Cleveland Clinic, older adults who engage in evening relaxation rituals show lower cortisol levels, fewer nighttime muscle cramps, and better memory retention the next morning. So yes, something as simple as 5 minutes of stillness can rebuild your brain. Your micro-commitment this week, I want you to choose just one of these 3 steps. That's it. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one, write it down, and commit to doing it 3 times this week. Then come back here and let me know how it felt. Comment started if you're taking action. Let's build this momentum together. Because here's what I've learned in 5 decades of medicine. No supplement, no surgery, no smart drug can ever replace the power of you deciding to move your body, to nourish it, to rest it, to reclaim what's always been yours, your strength and your sharpness. So let me leave you with this question. If there's one part of your body that's quietly asking for help, will you answer it today? If you've watched this far, let me say this from the heart. You're not weak. You're not too old. And no, it's not too late. You're still here, and that means something. Maybe you felt your legs trembling. Maybe your thoughts aren't as sharp as they used to be. Maybe you're tired of people saying, that's just aging. But I'm here to tell you, muscle loss isn't a destiny. It's a signal, and you get to answer it. I've seen people in their 80s grow stronger. I've seen memory return to minds once foggy. And I've seen something even more powerful. Hope come back into the eyes of people who thought they were finished. So let me ask you, if you had to choose just one place to begin reclaiming your strength, where would you start? Leave a comment below and tell me. Would it be walking again without fear? Lifting your grandkids without pain? Remembering names without embarrassment? Whatever your answer is, let that be your why, and let it carry you forward. Because starting today, you're no longer just surviving. You're rebuilding, stronger, sharper, steadier. And if you're wondering how to begin, I've got something for you. In our next video, I'm going to walk you through 5 simple, safe, and powerful strength exercises you can do right at home. No fancy equipment, no gym required. If you can lift a water bottle, you can do this. And if you can move for 5 minutes, you can build strength that lasts a lifetime. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because healing isn't a myth, and age isn't a barrier. It's just the beginning.